Thanks to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's 4 away victories in a row for them, 12 out of 12 points, stretching back to 8 if we look at last season as well. But in the 4 games this season, they've conceded first and come back, this time from 2 goals down. But we ran some stats on Stadium Astro's Twitter account about Fred. I'm just going to read out a few to you. So passes completed 69, passing accuracy 94.5, ball recoveries 8, duels 1, 7, tackles 4, interceptions 2, key passes 2. And there were a lot of comments, guys, from our followers. I'm going to read out a few for you right here. The unsung hero, not to forget his partner Matic. Both were solid in the second half. That comes from Rizwan. Hunter says, some of them didn't like you, but here's the truth. Long way to go. Another person wrote, I still don't get it, why people don't appreciate Fred. And Atto said, started the game slowly, but was instrumental towards the comeback. Is the criticism that Fred gets unfair? Is he consistent enough to justify a defence of him, Chris?
Yes, look, I think the frustration today was he gave away the free kick which Ward-Prowse scored from. But I think that Manchester United, with Fred in front of the back four, since he's been brought back into the team, look more solid. It's as simple as that. It's got such an important role to play, and I think he's done pretty well. I mean, he still needs to show the consistency for a greater period, but I think he's been pretty good in a United shirt.
Gary?
Well, based on what I saw today, and I watched the whole game, I thought he had a really good performance. Those stats that you read out matched what I saw myself. You know, very consistent. I think maybe some United fans have looked at the fact that he cost, what, 52 million, wasn't it, from Shakhtar, and he had a difficult period when he first came, couldn't establish himself in the side. But it does take time for you to settle. You know, even when you move from a domestic club to another domestic club, you know, when you're a Brazilian and you've been playing at Shakhtar and then you come to Manchester United, you know, it's certainly not an easy business. I like him. I thought the blend that Man United had in midfield today was really good. Matic was pretty much the holding player. Fred and the Dutch lad, what's his name?
Donny van de Beek.
That's it. Played sort of in front of him, and then Bruno Fernandes a little bit further forward. So almost had a diamond in there. You know, when they were 2-0 down, you know, I'm sure there were a few headlines being prepared. I'm certain of that. Cavani came on at half-time for Greenwood, made a big difference. You know, the assist for Bruno Fernandes for the first goal, then he scores 2 goals as well. You know, he really did turn the game in their favour. It was a really good second half from Manchester United.
Chris, earlier you were talking about Tottenham being perhaps too reliant on Kane and Son for the goals. What about Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes? He's involved in almost every single positive play that side offer. It's something we brought up with Matt Le Tissier earlier on.
Yeah, what a player. Transformed the season last season, didn't he, when they brought him in? They missed that creativity in the final third, Manchester United did. Brilliant talent he is. I mean, it's interesting, and a touch on Gary's point, that Manchester United at half-time, there would have been United fans out there screaming, Ole out. He's got to go at the end of the game, the way it turned round. I mean, brilliant for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think that the club have been right to be patient with him. Slightly worried when Cavani was brought on. He took about a minute to do his laces up, which I was slightly concerned about. It probably shouldn't have been concerned because he obviously had an inkling what could happen. I thought that his movement was absolutely brilliant for especially for the third goal, got across his defender. You don't have a career which he's had without being a top quality player. The issue with signing him was United took so long to do it. You know, they could have signed him 4 months earlier. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably wishes he had, but what a difference he made. But you're right about Fernandes. He's their key man. I think everybody looks to him. Such a great creator, but scores plenty of goals as well.
It's interesting to see what happens moving forward. It's not the away form that's been a problem for Manchester United. It's their home form. They only got their first league victory at Old Trafford last weekend against West Brom. You could argue perhaps they were a bit lucky that a penalty wasn't given to West Brom in that game, if you remember the highlights. But that's a topic for another day.